Dear friends, welcome you all to the INICET PG 2021 expected questions in anatomy. Okay, so daily we will be discussing one important anatomy topic for 15 to 20 minutes. Okay, starting from 5 to 5:15 or 5:20 like that. Okay, so in today's session we will be discussing the topic related to the flexor retinaculum and its applied aspects. Okay, so let's see the case scenario. A 16-year-old girl failed in her final examination. Disgusted with life, she cut across the front of wrist, okay, at the level of flexor retinaculum. Fine. She was rushed to the hospital. The surgeon noticed that the cut was superficial. Okay. All the following structures would have been damaged except. Okay, this is the question. So the clue given here, it was a superficial cut in front of flexor retinaculum of wrist, isn't it? So whatever structures which are passing superficial to the flexor retinaculum can easily get injured. The structures passing deep to the flexor retinaculum will escape the injury since the cut was superficial. Okay, so we have to have the idea what are the structures passing superficial to the flexor retinaculum and the structures passing deep to the flexor retinaculum. Okay, so first of all, see this diagram. This thick fibrous band you are seeing here is the flexor retinaculum, which is a thick transverse band which is passing horizontally, isn't it, between the various carpal bones. Okay, so the flexor retinaculum is otherwise called as carpal, okay, transverse carpal ligament because it is extending transversely. Okay, so flexor retinaculum of the wrist is otherwise called as transverse carpal ligament. Okay, so you can see between the flexor retinaculum and the carpal bones, you are able to see the various carpal bones, 8 carpal bones here. Okay, so between the carpal bones and the flexor retinaculum, we have one narrow passage called as carpal tunnel. Fine. So please remember, carpal tunnel is a narrow passage between the flexor retinaculum above and carpal bones below. Okay. Fine. See this diagram. This is the transverse section, okay, or cross section of the wrist showing the flexor retinaculum. So this is the flexor retinaculum of wrist. This thick fibrous band I am highlighting is the flexor retinaculum of the wrist. Fine. And this is medial side and this is lateral side, okay, of the wrist. So you can see laterally the flexor retinaculum of wrist is dividing into 2 slips. Okay. Fine. Laterally the flexor retinaculum of wrist is dividing into 2 slips. And what is the tendon passing between the 2 slips of the flexor retinaculum? Yes, it is flexor carpi radialis tendon. Okay. Flexor carpi radialis tendon, FCR, flexor carpi radialis tendon passes between the 2 slips of the flexor retinaculum. Okay, and as I told, between the flexor retinaculum, right, and the carpal bones, these are the various carpal bones. Okay, do you see the narrow passage? Nothing but carpal tunnel. Carpal tunnel, okay, is the narrow passage between the flexor retinaculum above and carpal bones below. Okay, so from this diagram you can understand what are the structures which pass superficial to the flexor retinaculum and deep to the flexor retinaculum. Okay, so what are the structures passing superficial to the flexor retinaculum? As we see here, the only tendon passing superficial to the flexor retinaculum is palmaris longus tendon. Fine. Palmaris longus tendon passes superficial to the flexor retinaculum. Okay, and some other structures passing superficial to the flexor retinaculum are ulnar nerve, ulnar artery, then palmar cutaneous branch of ulnar nerve, palmar cutaneous branch of median nerve, and superficial palmar branch of radial artery. Fine. So these are the various structures, 6 structures which pass superficial to the flexor retinaculum of the wrist. Okay, palmaris longus tendon, ulnar nerve and ulnar artery, then palmar cutaneous branch of ulnar nerve and palmar cutaneous branch of median nerve, and superficial palmar branch of radial artery. Fine. These are the 3 main structures actually. Okay, the first 3 are the main structures which pass superficial to the flexor retinaculum. Okay, so the importance is, in the case scenario we have discussed the cut was superficial, right? So all the structures which are passing superficial to the flexor retinaculum, they can easily get injured, isn't it? And see this diagram. What are the structures passing deep to the flexor retinaculum? That means through the carpal tunnel. Can you tell me the only nerve which passes deep to the flexor retinaculum, the one I am marking now? Yes, the median nerve, isn't it? The median nerve passes deep to the flexor retinaculum, okay, through the carpal tunnel, otherwise we can say. Other than that, you can see the 4 tendons of FDS, isn't it? Then the 4 tendons of FDP and the 2 synovial sheaths surrounding the 4 tendons of FDS and FDP, and also one more tendon will be moving to the thumb called as flexor pollicis longus tendon, okay, which is surrounded by radial bursa, right? So what are the structures passing deep to the flexor retinaculum? So as I told already, structures passing deep to the flexor retinaculum means structures passing, right? So the only nerve passing through the carpal tunnel is median nerve, isn't it? And what are the tendons passing deep to the flexor retinaculum? The 4 tendons of flexor digitorum superficialis and the 4 tendons of flexor digitorum profundus. And what is the common synovial sheath surrounding the 4 tendons of FDS and FDP known as? Yes, it is called as ulnar bursa. Ulnar bursa. Fine. Then, other than the 4 tendons of FDS and the 4 tendons of FDP, we have one more tendon moving to the thumb, isn't it? Called as flexor pollicis longus, which is surrounded by one synovial sheath called as radial bursa. Fine. So I hope you are clear about the structures passing superficial to the flexor retinaculum and structures passing deep to the flexor retinaculum. Okay. So deep to the flexor retinaculum, we have only one nerve passing and 9 tendons. 9 tendons and 2 bursae, ulnar bursa and radial bursa. Fine. And I want you to remember one more thing. As I told already, the flexor carpi radialis tendon, FCR tendon, passes between the 2 slips of the flexor retinaculum, right? And also remember, if you see medial aspect, on the medial side, okay, the flexor retinaculum will be dividing again into 2 slips, okay, to form one tunnel called as Guyon's canal, okay. So remember, Guyon's canal, okay, contains ulnar nerve and ulnar artery, okay. So the artery and the nerve you are seeing here, which pass through the Guyon's canal, all are ulnar nerve and ulnar artery, okay. So this question has been asked again. What are the structures passing through the Guyon's canal? The answer is ulnar nerve and ulnar vessels or ulnar artery. Fine. Now, as we discussed earlier, the another name for the flexor retinaculum of the wrist is transverse carpal ligament. This one. Flexor retinaculum of wrist can be otherwise called as transverse carpal ligament. Fine. Okay. So coming to the applied aspect of the flexor retinaculum, okay, there is one clinical condition called as CTS. What is CTS? Yes, it is carpal tunnel syndrome. Carpal tunnel syndrome. Okay. So what are the important things we have to know about the clinical condition called as carpal tunnel syndrome? Actually, it is one of the very common clinical conditions. Okay. So remember, this carpal tunnel syndrome is due to compression of median nerve. Okay. You know, the median nerve passes through the carpal tunnel, right? So the compression of the median nerve within the carpal tunnel leads to one condition called as carpal tunnel syndrome. Fine. So What will be the clinical features of the carpal tunnel syndrome? Anybody? What are the clinical features of carpal tunnel syndrome? Yes, we know the median nerve is getting compressed at the level of wrist in the carpal tunnel syndrome, right? So whatever cutaneous and motor innervation by the median nerve in the hand will be affected in case of carpal tunnel syndrome. Okay, so I hope you will be knowing in the palm the three thenar muscles are supplied by the median nerve. Okay, so if there is compression of median nerve in the so-called carpal tunnel syndrome condition, there will be weakness of thenar muscles. Because of median nerve injury or compression, there will be weakness of thenar muscles, the three thenar muscles. Okay, you can say weakness, otherwise we can say wasting or atrophy. Okay, atrophy or weakening or wasting of the three thenar muscles. Okay, namely you will be knowing the muscles, right? Abductor pollicis brevis, opponens pollicis, flexor pollicis brevis, the three thenar muscles. Okay, and if the condition is not surgically corrected immediately, it may lead to one condition called as ape thumb deformity. So please remember, ape thumb deformity is also due to the median nerve compression. Okay, and the paralysis of the three thenar muscles. Fine. So what are the other clinical features of the carpal tunnel syndrome other than the three thenar muscles, atrophy or weakness of three thenar muscles? You know, in the palm, the lateral 3.5 fingers, the skin is supplied by the median nerve. Okay, so there may be loss of sensations. Okay, there will be loss of sensation. Initially, there will be pain and paresthesia, altered sensations, but later it may even lead to loss of sensations. Okay, so loss of sensations of lateral 3.5 fingers. Obviously, the palmar aspect of lateral 3.5 fingers, there will be loss of sensation. Okay, and especially the patient will be having pain more at night. Night time the pain will be severe. Okay, take care of this important thing. And anybody, can you tell me what is the name of the test performed in this image? Yes, this is called as Pallen's test. This is called as Pallen's test. So please remember, Pallen's test is for the diagnosis of the carpal tunnel syndrome. Okay, so what is Pallen's test? In this condition, when you ask the patient to flex the wrist and approximate the hands, the symptoms of the carpal tunnel syndrome will be produced. Okay, so that is called as Pallen's test. So please take care of this image. This may be a image based question asked in your exam. Okay, so this test is called as Pallen's test, which is used for the diagnosis of carpal tunnel syndrome. When the patient is asked to flex the wrist and approximate the hands, the symptoms of carpal tunnel syndrome will be produced. Fine. So regarding the carpal tunnel syndrome, we have discussed it is due to compression of median nerve at the carpal tunnel. Okay, and what are the various causes, possible causes for carpal tunnel syndrome? One thing, you know, median nerve is getting compressed. Okay, so what are the possible causes? You know, other than median nerve, we have the passage of the 9 flexor tendons through the carpal tunnel, right? The 4 tendons of FDS, 4 tendons of FDP, and flexor pollicis longus tendon. Okay, so if there is inflammation of the synovial sheath surrounding these 9 tendons, it may lead to compression of the median nerve. Okay, so chronic tenosynovitis, inflammation of the synovial sheath of the flexor tendons which pass through the carpal tunnel. Fine. And some other possible causes for carpal tunnel syndrome are, one is myxedema, that is hypothyroidism. Okay, myxedema. And I hope you will be knowing anterior dislocation of lunate bone may also cause compression of median nerve leading to carpal tunnel syndrome again. Okay. So anterior dislocation of lunate bone, fine. One of the 8 carpal bones. Okay. Anterior dislocation of lunate bone may also cause compression of median nerve leading to carpal tunnel syndrome. Okay. And already we have studied the clinical features of carpal tunnel syndrome, right? What are they? What are the various clinical features of carpal tunnel syndrome? Yes. One is the atrophy or wasting or weakness of the 3 thenar muscles. And if the condition is not immediately treated, it may even lead to one clinical condition called as aphthum deformity. Fine. Then we have studied there may be pain and paresthesia along the palmar aspect of lateral 3½ fingers, and it may even lead to loss of sensations of the lateral 3½ fingers. Fine. And the pain will be more or worse at night time. Fine. And can you tell me the treatment? What is the treatment option for the carpal tunnel syndrome? Yes. Now you know the condition is because of the compression of median nerve deep to the flexor retinaculum, isn't it? So the treatment for this condition is surgical cutting of flexor retinaculum in order to relieve the compression. Okay. So the decompression of the median nerve should be done by surgical cutting of flexor retinaculum, not entirely. A part of the flexor retinaculum may be cut in order to decompress the median nerve. Fine. Okay, that's the end of the today's discussion regarding the flexor retinaculum and carpal tunnel syndrome. Thank you so much. If you have any doubts, free to ask anytime. Okay, your doubts are welcome. Thank you. Thank you all.
Best training, peaceful environment, PG medical entrance exam preparation were my expectations. I got them at Speed Medical Village in Kanchipuram. Today, I am a PG topper.
Speed Medical Village, a unique eco-friendly campus dedicated for PG preparation. Speed Medical Institute, a complete solution for medical education.